I'm so moved to be here. I have tears in my eyes. And as I heard and sang the opening song, God You Are, and as just sang Raising the Veil, I was substituting in my mind gratitude, that experience of gratitude and thankfulness for the word God. And as we were just finishing singing, I'm raising the veil. I am so grateful for this community. You know, I live 200 miles away from here. And my memory is that 6 years ago, in November, when I was living back here, I was invited to speak here. Nick didn't know me. Mary Angela Buffo, those of you who know her, she speaks here, had given Nick my name. And I love where I live. I love the life that I have. And I love this community. So, as an expression of my gratefulness, already. For those of you who are here for the first time or who haven't heard me speak before, I give out charms. And I give out charms because I need as many reminders as I can get that God is on my side, that living life as a thank you is a much happier way, is a much more fulfilling way, and is a much more satisfying way to live. So I know everybody doesn't have the charm yet. They're coming around. I will tell you, those who don't have it yet, they say thank you on them. And I ask that as I'm speaking, and possibly during the rest of the service, is that you hold this and you either allow it in its charming way to serve as a reminder of what you're grateful for, or you fill it with what you are grateful for. It doesn't matter which is the chicken or which is the egg. And so when I chose a title for today, the first thing that came to my mind is living life as a thank you. And so we are in this season of Thanksgiving next Thursday. And we're also at a time in our world where there is turmoil. And it's true in every single institution. It's true in healthcare, it's true in politics, it's true in the financial sector, it's true in education. And it's so easy in these times when new forms are not yet manifest, and we're living in uncertainty, and we know that it's time for change, but we're in that space in between dreams. It's very easy, at least it's very easy for me at times, to focus more on what I'm not grateful for, what I wish was different. And what we know from New Thought is that thoughts charged with emotional energy, spoken of with authority, we are the authors of them, and then acted on with conviction is what comes to life. Whether it's a little charm that someone thought up in their mind, it's this building, it's this community, or whatever currently exists in your life. And so where we focus our attention is both our responsibility and the gift that each one of us offers to the collective consciousness. We don't know which one of us is going to exhale the thankfulness, the love, that's going to be the energetic vibration that is going to be the tipping point to a more loving, more caring, more compassionate, and more kind world. We don't know which one of us is the Messiah. So maybe it's each one of us. And so as I think about living life as a thank you, one of the things that came to my mind earlier this week, I was being interviewed about creativity and gratitude. And one of the things that came to my mind goes like this. I think what most of us want, I think what all of us want, really, is love, is recognition. And yet, we go through so many experiences in our daily life where we don't allow, where we don't know how to receive the gratitude and the appreciation that's offered to us. It could be as simple as saying to someone who recently got a haircut, "Well, your hair looks great." And the response is, "Well, yeah, in 2 weeks it will grow a little more and it will look good." Or somebody says to someone, "Thank you for carrying those packages for me." The person says, "Oh, it was nothing." And what that does over time when we hear that my actions were nothing is that my telling you that I appreciate you is nothing, is that you then teach me not to give you a compliment. You teach me not to appreciate you. You teach me not to be grateful. And so then I stop giving the compliments, and there's a rift in the relationship over time because we don't feel appreciated. But part of the challenge of gratitude, of being thankful, is not only in the giving of it, which is certainly important, and equally important is the receiving of it. So if you have that experience where you give a compliment, where you give appreciation, where you express your thankfulness to someone for something they have done or for something that they're wearing that you like, whatever it might be, for their mere presence in your life, and the person says, "Oh, well, it was nothing." Here's a possible response. I just gave you a compliment. I appreciate you. Because we need practice in this habit of receiving gratitude. The other thing that I became very aware of during the song, "God You Are," is that if you're not sure what to be thankful for, it's all in this song. Every mountain, every ocean, every canyon, every inch of earth and sky, every morning, every midnight, every moment, every second of my life. And then there was even thankfulness. We live in the Berkshires. There was thankfulness in this for snow, and it changed my mind about learning that it snowed in the Berkshires overnight. And so, what does it mean to live life as a thank you? Well, it means a few things to me. Some of you may be familiar with a book that came out, I believe it was in the early 90s, possibly late 80s, a book called Simple Abundance. And it was a book that was a cheerleader for gratitude, Oprah found out about the book. The author, Sarah Ben Bracknock, I think that's how her name is pronounced, then suggested that people make gratitude lists of what they're thankful for. And what I realized is that when I was a child, every so often I would be told to say one of the magic words. And the magic words were please and thank you. And so I learned to say thank you. But you know how when you say something and you're only saying it from here and you're not including here, we don't get in our body the full benefit of the experience. So it wasn't until I learned about the Simple Abundance book, and for 1 year religiously, every night wrote 5 things that I was grateful for. And what I noticed after a while is I was just doing it by rote. You know, health is a good one to put on it. I have a home. Sometimes I'd be grateful for, you know, maybe I just taken a bath. I'd be grateful for that. I started going through the motions of being grateful, which is very different than living the experience of being grateful. So what I'd like you to take a moment to do right now, holding your charm in your hand, think of something. Actually, feel it first in your heart, and then let the idea, the concept, the words come to your mind. Just allow yourself, you may want to close your eyes for this, you may want to hold your hand to your heart, and just for a moment, breathe in the gratitude. Before you give it away, allow it to come through you. And when you feel the gratitude, all at once, at the count of 3, everybody just call out what you're feeling at this very moment grateful for. 1, 2, 3. Carl. And so, what's really crucial here in terms of gratitude is to feel it in our bodies. And sometimes it begins by becoming familiar with it in our head. But so often, words come out of our mouth on automatic without getting the full experience, whether these are loving, kind, compassionate words, or whether these are snarky, sarcastic, oh, I was just joking words. So when we really know that words are real things, words carry an energy that then becomes part of the collective consciousness. And if my energy is grateful, there's a good chance that when I exhale and I'm facing you and you then inhale, you'll catch some of that energy. And it works the other way around also. When we're feeling less than, when we're feeling regretful, when we're feeling that we're not enough, that things aren't working out, that everything is my fault, and I exhale, if there's a space in you that resonates to those ideas, then you catch it. So while it appears as though we're separate, I'm sure many of you have heard me say this before, we live in the sea of this breath of life, and we are inhaling the same air as one another. This is what has us be as one here. And that breath, that energy can be named God, can be named love, can be named gratitude. So another thing I was thinking about in terms of this week is that for many of us, Thanksgiving time is a time with family. And I don't know if this is true for you, but if you want to have your buttons pushed real easily, possibly spend some time with family. And even though I am, not might be, 67 years old, I could turn into a 14-year-old teenager or a 2-year-old or a 7-year-old. Immediately, just step into the environment. So in this day of Thanksgiving, if you happen to be with people who at some time in your life pushed your buttons, before you prepare to go there, imagine that Thanksgiving is over, and either you're in your house or you're leaving to go back to your home, and you're saying to yourself, what a fabulous Thanksgiving this was. I am so grateful for these people in my life, those who love and accept me unconditionally, and those whose love I experience as pushing my buttons as a reminder of where I still have to grow, of where the opportunity for love is calling me to expand. So I'm asking you to see Thanksgiving that day, or for some of you, maybe the whole weekend or a portion of it. I encourage you to see it as over, not because, I can't wait till it's over, but because that's the power of visualization, seeing the result accomplished, rather than as you're preparing to go to celebrate this time of gratitude and thankfulness. In your mind, you're thinking about, oh no, Uncle Joe is going to be there, and he just talks. No, not you. Just heard the name that came out of my mind. He's always talking, and I have to listen. Rather than visualizing with great emotional energy everything that's not going to go right, what about visualizing that the whole event, the whole experience of this time was fulfilling, and that each one of us allowed the light of our hearts to flow out, as well as to receive the love of the people we're with during that time. And I just have to tell you, there is an infant here who is such a reminder and something to truly be grateful for, that we each come into this world whole. We each come into this world as mighty expressions of love. And my guess is that each one of us at times forgets that. So I close today asking you to remember and to be thankful for remembering that you are, we are, I am a mighty expression of love in the world. And my appreciation, my gratitude, my thankfulness is a gift that we give freely, because it truly is our greatest gift. Thank you. And now I'm already grateful for the opportunity to hear Keelan playing and singing.